Genki Call here with the Soulforge offerings on tap for the week of November 22nd, 2021. Let's go over troops first. So, for troops, we have the Great Maw, which is actually quite a nice alternative to High King Iron Gut if you don't have him yet. He will devour one enemy, and then he'll create 8 yellow and 8 brown gems. He can only cast one time, but he does make a good tank to use at the front of the team. He gains life on 4+ gem matches, and he gains attack when he takes damage, and he gets +2 to all skills on skull gem matches. So he's a really nice option if you need him. Something to think about. I don't know. I haven't actually ever used him for that because I got High King Iron Gut pretty early on. Queen Isabel, she's okay. She does damage to the first enemy equal to an ally's attack. Then, okay, so this is worded a little strangely. So you've got 4 troops. You cast on any one of them. You're going to want to cast it on the first troop whenever you can because it's going to give them 30 attack and armor, so it will help them tank. And then it's going to deal damage to the first enemy equal to the ally's new attack. I think it's new attack. Plus, it's going to give 3 to 8 mana to all allies other than herself. She's really good to use in world events or in events in general. Other than that, I haven't actually used her except for in those events. The Spooky Imp, he is one of the seasonal imps. And, he's okay, but personally, I hate fighting wraiths because their third trait is to do death mark when they do skull damage to you. I have not tested to see whether the transform gives them those traits or not. If it does, then this is just would not ever want to use this. I have avoided using it because I hate the wraiths, but anyway, I do like to have the imps. However, they are from a kingdom that isn't on the map, so getting them isn't going to help you get your power levels up anywhere because there isn't actually a physical location for them on the map. And this is where the imps power comes from. It's where they really shine, is whenever you get a match of whatever color they use, you gain 8 magic, which is going to increase this every single time you make that match. So the imps are a lot of fun, but the winter imp is my personal favorite because it does true damage, not just regular damage. Also, we've got Queen Grapplepot, who does damage to all enemies, boosted by ally and enemy goblins with a ×3 boost ratio. Of course, she gets an extra turn. This is another one I've never used. I just don't think that she's that powerful. When you are lower level, perhaps, but I didn't actually get her till I was higher level, and at that point she wasn't very useful to me anymore. This is what really helps, but still, I just haven't ever found her to be that useful myself. Yep. All right, so that is it for the legendaries. As for the mythics, we've got War in here, who I accidentally got with my keys, I think, one day. And I've tried putting him in teams and haven't really come across anything that really interested me. It's just, he seems kind of meh to me, and perhaps I'm missing something, but I just don't see him as being that interesting. Plus, leveling him up and trading him isn't going to help any kingdoms because there is no physical location for Apocalypse. Just like with the Primal, this is the same deal with the Apocalypse. So if you're looking to get power levels up, he is not going to help you. Undine. I would like to have Undine. He is one of the mythics from Merlantis. He does damage to an enemy and the next enemy below them, boosted by merfolk and submerged allies. Submerge blue allies and silence blue enemies. He could be pretty good on blue Guild Wars Day, I'm thinking. unless they have Captain McCall with them, in which case that's not going to work at all. But submerge myself at the start of every turn, which can be very annoying if you're using area of effect, do damage to all enemies type of damage. Can be a pain to fight. He is not somebody that I myself am interested in spending 4,000 diamonds on. I will say that. Arachnaen Weaver, everybody should know Arachnaen Weaver by now. It's been in the Soulforge for half this price for a month, I think. So if you missed it, I guess it kind of sucks to see him in here right now because he's not going to be back in for quite a long time. And now he costs twice as much as he did before. So hopefully you got him when he was just 2,000 diamonds. But he is one of my favorite, most used mythics. I just love this troop. I love his summons. It's just extremely powerful. So if you don't have him, I absolutely recommend him. It just kind of sucks that he was just 2,000 diamonds and now he's 4. So Vash'Dagon. Vash'Dagon was one of my first mythics, and he was my second, and he devours an ally? Really? That's what I thought when I got him. Why would I ever want to devour an ally? Well, the reason is because when he devours them, he summons in a demon, which could be a mythic. He also does true scatter damage boosted by his life, which is going to increase a lot when you eat an ally. Now, it says devour an ally, then summon a demon if the ally is devoured. The reason it is worded that way is because they may be immune to devour, like himself. He is immune to devour if you have him traded. So you can cast him on himself, do true scatter damage, and still have your troop. That is how I use him myself. I use him only in delving. I only cast upon himself. Don't do that if you are cursed or stunned, or you will accidentally devour yourself, by the way. But the reason I use him isn't for the true scatter damage. I use him for cursing a random enemy when matching brown. And that is incredibly useful when you're delving or using hiking Iron Gut, because if you curse an enemy that is immune to devour, they're no longer immune to devour. Curse removes that trait. So as does stun. But that's why I use him. However, there are much, much cheaper options available now. And so, unless you need to get Karakoth up on the power level, I generally would say to pass on Vash'Dagon. Save your diamonds for something you really, really want. Because there are some great alternatives for cursing without casting. And I mentioned them during all of my delves. So, and if you want to know what those are, I can post it in the comments. Just ask me down below and I'll be happy to give you that information. Leona's Tower is over here, always here, and I think that is it. Vash, Arachnaen Weaver, Undine, and yep, and War. Yep, that is it for the troops in the Soulforge. I would personally say to pass on all of them unless you really, really want a Devour tank option for delving or level 12 explorers. Then the Great Maw might be good for you. You can check out some YouTube videos featuring the Great Maw as a tank in those situations before you go and spend 800 diamonds on him, if you're interested. As for weapons, we have the Doomed Chronicle in here, one of those doomed books that absolutely kick your behind during Guild Wars and is not useful for much else. The problem is, and I would totally craft this right now, except where am I going to get purple Forge Scrolls? The tower events are spaced so far apart, those Forge Scrolls are so hard to get, that I don't know that I'm going to be crafting this until I start getting a surplus of Forge Scrolls. I can wait till the next time we come back to Divinion Fields to try and get this, because right now it's, at low level, it just doesn't do much compared to one that's up to level 10. So Normally, I would snap this up, but right now I'm going to pass on it because 900 diamonds, that's a lot of diamonds for something that is going to be useless for me for a while. I do need to craft 3 weapons. And because I only have a few here for Divinion Fields, and to get my power level up at some point, I'm going to get blocked by not having enough weapons. So I'm going to craft all 3 of these. Now, it would be cheaper for me to do the Staff of the Fields. It's only 75 diamonds. It's one of those semi-useless weapons that removes all of one color, deals damage to an enemy boosted by those gems you removed. You don't get any mana out of it. It simply boosts your spell. And then if they're from Divinion Fields, you'll deal double damage. All well and good. But I need 3 weapons, and I like all 3 of these weapons, so I'm going to craft all 3 of these. I need to slow down. I'm talking too fast. Let me breathe. Okay, I feel better. Shooting Star. Shooting Star dispels all enemies, deals damage to an enemy, and eliminates half of their attack, which could be really useful against a team that's using the Wild Queen, I'm thinking. So I'm going to go ahead and craft that. I have plenty of Celestials. I had 100 before I started, so I'm doing okay with that. Then we have the Rose Bow. It's going to do damage to an enemy boosted by Divinion Fields allies, then create a mix of 6 blue and yellow gems for each Divinion Fields ally. Gonna grab that too. Could be good in the world event. Haven't really thought about that because I like the teams I have in there, but for later on it might be useful. And then we have the Firefly, which does the same type of thing. Damage to an enemy boosted by Centaur allies instead of Divinion Fields, and then creates a mix of 6 green and yellow gems for each Centaur ally. So going to craft that. Ba-dum! All right, and now I have 8 weapons for Divinion Fields, which is awesome. Let me make sure there's nothing here. Okay, that's it. I do want to mention Trick and Treat is here, I think, only through the end of this week. And you have to have 5 of the devil cards to craft it. If you missed out on that during Halloween week, the only way you can get the devil cards is from the vault. And I believe the devil card is in the vault now, but I'm not positive. I'm sorry. Might want to check on that before you start using up your vault keys. I think that's it. I believe that is it. So, I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye!